Back with another live. Feeling alive. Feeling good. Just on my way back home. I was meant to start a new seated exercise session today at a new place, but because nobody's attended, I've left a little bit early. But I hope all is good. If you see my post today, I mentioned that since the weekend after my 2-day dry fast, I've continued to juice and be on liquids. Kind of missed out a few bits of information on the post that I did. Could have added it in, but I thought, why not talk about it on here instead? So I've been doing liquids, and I've also been doing fermented juice with the fermented foods that I've been making. So I've been straining it and then just leaving the juice, separating the juice from the food, and been drinking that. Boost up the good gut microbiome. And then today I was kind of hoping to get some coconut water, but they had no more left at the market, so I brought some lemons instead. I brought some lemons and limes, and I thought, oh well, seeing as though I've not long ago done an undiluted lemon cleanse, I thought, why not take the opportunity to do an undiluted lemon as well. So I'm kind of going hard right now, like super hard. So I've had this morning, I've had grapefruit juice, seeded grape juice, fermented juice, undiluted lemon juice, and I've had some rosemary tea so far. So I'm kind of just flooding my system, and I did an enema this morning, which is good, but I'm going to do a lemon enema later today. So I've got a whole, and then I made some sea moss gel. So I mixed the sea moss gel with the lemon, sea moss gel with lemon, with undiluted lemon juice. And you know, like your mouth just feels a bit sensitive. Well, not my mouth, more my lips, because I had loads of pineapple juice over the last few days. So yeah, I'll show you. This is a litre of undiluted lemon juice, but I'll save some of that for my enema. And then I think, not too sure, I'll probably eat later today, or I'll just eat tomorrow. But I feel like giving my body a little bit of time with the lemon because it's strong. Yeah, the lemon's strong, super strong. So yeah. You know what? Sorry, someone's just asked, how do I feel having all of those foods in this dense weather? Not bad. I think I'm feeling the cold a little bit more, only because I've been juicing and I've been sneezing like crazy. But I think it's probably because I've had so much cayenne pepper, which is irritating my whole system. And I don't just have a pinch of salt. Not pinch of salt. I don't just have like a dash. I have quite a lot. But I've had no cayenne pepper today. But usually I feel okay. But because I'm just like on liquids, I do feel the cold a lot more. So I'm wrapped up and I've got the heat on in the car right now. But typically, not too bad. And because I've kind of discovered new foods that I can have, such as the wild rice, which is a bit more heavier, like the heavier foods. have like a lot of avocados and nuts and stuff like that, which kind of gives me a bit more warmth and stuff. So do you not feel seasonal or native foods serve better? Definitely do serve better. Seasonal foods do. I do try and get stuff that's in season most of the time, but I kind of just have what I feel called to have, depending on how I feel at the time. So yeah, also I can have a lot of broths and stuff like that if I decide to be on liquids, but I don't intend to be on liquids for too long now. But when I was doing my juice fast, that was a bit more intense, but because I'm eating, it's not too bad, so it's okay. But I think as well, I'm not in that mindset of like getting hungry or feeling like I need to eat certain things, because I've done a lot of cleansing and I've kind of stripped away the addictive foods. Yeah, depending on what you can take on, I find in all affects the emotions I have to deal with. Depending on what you have to take on, I find it all affects the emotions I have to take on. Don't know if it's me or if I'm reading it right. Depending on what you can take on. Sorry, could you rewrite that, please? But I'm guessing you're talking about the foods affecting how you feel, like emotionally, or your emotions affect the foods that you have, that you wish to have. I feel like it's one of the two. I would definitely say most of us would probably eat a particular way depending on how we feel. Definitely, for sure. But yeah, apart from that, oh yeah, I've been having coconut water, which has been so nice. I'm not talking about the bottled coconut water, I'm talking about coconut water from the coconut, which has been nice. So I mean to say, like, the foods I eat affect my feelings, and so if I eat foods that don't match up with my surroundings, it affects my emotion. 100%. I think that's like an everybody thing. Yeah, and as well, like, food combining is like so important, something that I've not taken something that I've not really put at the top of my list of priorities, because I can get away with a whole lot more now in terms of like foods that I eat and the times that you eat your food. So like making sure that there's like a good enough space between your meals, but I've kind of like been able to shorten the time between meals because my digestion's so much better than it was. But yeah, regarding like, yeah, of course it definitely depends on what you eat, but like if you automatically feel good when you eat good, but even that, I guess that's subjective as well, because obviously what somebody might think is good to eat isn't necessarily good to eat, especially in terms of like digestion and how your body's able to handle that food. But yeah, like such a massive correlation between especially like how you feel to the foods that you kind of desire, and then obviously how foods affect you. So like the most common one would be, most people might feel tired and then they say, oh, they want to have something to eat, and the very foods that they eat doesn't help their tiredness, but it's more of an emotional and a feeling. So somebody just, I guess most people probably just want to have like a hug, an internal hug, and having heavier foods like kind of feel like nice and filling and like full of love, I guess, maybe, if you can relate to that. But honestly, when you strip back the layers and you start cleansing out your system, like things start coming to the forefront, and then you're kind of able to get away from like the addiction of like eating particular foods, like the crunchy foods are for a particular reason, and the sugary stuff is for a particular reason, and the bready stuff and the chewy stuff like all serve as an emotional response. So yeah, when you get deeper into like reading into this sort of stuff, like it's so interesting, so interesting. And even like my surroundings, like I can see, like I'm such an observer, like I'm such a non-judgmental observer. Like I'm just an observer in general. So like I can see when people are like irritable, feeling a particular way, like after they've eaten a particular thing, or like emotionally where they are and the decisions that they make. Like it's such a big deal, like it's massive. Do you feel you thrive in England? I feel that this land isn't made to have us here. I feel it's all related. I want to live in a less dense place and eat natural foods there and it feels totally different. I agree, but to be honest, I feel like you just have to make do with what you have currently in your surroundings. And for me, like a big thing for me is like just showing that actually it can be done. Like, yeah, living in England where it's colder, we don't have so much sun, that you're actually able to kind of like thrive, I guess, to a degree. Like, and even for me, like I'm still learning. I'll forever be a student. I'm always learning, always keen, always open-minded. But like, yeah, like especially when I first started juicing, I kind of went in a little bit blind, and then over time I've kind of not only just like experimented like a lot, but I've read quite a lot as well, and I will experiment. So for me, like I know that buying organic foods is pricey, comes with a price tag. So I know from reading and experimenting, and something that I do often, like pretty much all the time, is I make my own sprouts from broccoli seeds, red clover seeds, fenugreek, broccoli, radish. Like I sprout all the time, and sprouting your foods, sprouting seeds, like the equivalent, the nutritional equivalent is like a tablespoon, just an example, a tablespoon of broccoli sprouts is the equivalent to one mature broccoli. Like sprouts, do you know how small sprouts are? Like I do this all the time, and like there's nothing, like you know as well, like that nothing's been sprayed on them because you're growing them. Just water, like water. It doesn't matter if you're like in a small space, like you can do it anywhere. Like I do it in glass jars. I also oh, my battery's gonna die, I think. I need to make this one short. Yeah, so yeah, so I sprout all the time. So obviously you're getting like between like 20 to 80 to 100 times more nutrition than the mature counterparts. You know, you got organic foods, and it's pennies to buy seeds, like pennies, and you can have sprouts in like a couple of days. I wait for mine to grow much bigger, so I do that. And then not only that, but like to increase it even more, I ferment them, and that's like probiotics, prebiotics, like increasing your gut microbiome. Like it does a whole load. I'm not even doing it any justice, but it does a whole load of things. And then in terms of like fruits and stuff, I don't buy organic fruits all the time. Very rarely I buy organic foods. So most of my organic produce comes from the sprouts that I make. And then, you know, I do a lot of herbs. I buy a lot of herbs online, have a lot of teas. I do a lot of foraging now, like something I never used to do before. So I got a whole load of ginkgo. I didn't even know it grew here. My partner told me it grew here. She showed me. We went to collect it. I've dehydrated it. I can have it in teas now. I can have it all year round. So I do a lot of foraging, seasonal foraging. So there's nettle right now, which is great for your kidneys. Like it's mad because like it's actually so abundant, and the more and more I like dive deeper into my journey, like the more and more I'm seeing like how abundant like England actually is. Like, but it's just like tapping into like that new level. So like I can see it like everywhere I go. Like now I'm just like so good at identifying like herbs, plants. Yeah, like honestly it's actually really abundant. I like water as well. Like, yeah, ideally we want to be like next to like natural springs and stuff like that, but you can get yourself a water distiller if you can afford it. They're quite cheap now, actually, to be honest. So you can get pure clean water. Then obviously if you want to structure your water, then you can add herbs into there. You know, there's so much stuff that you can do. There's so much stuff, and that's something that I've learned. Yes, I need to clear my gut and start again. I did 28-day juice cleanse, which just is dipping my toes in it, really, isn't it? Well, not really, because I think even if you do a day, if you've never done a day before, like that, I wouldn't say that's dipping your toes in. I feel like you're going against the grain. Like, you're going against the program, you're going against the reality, you're going against everything like you've been taught. So even going a day without eating food, like, is such a big deal when we've been told to eat 3 times a day, including snacks. So like, kudos to you. Like don't even shut it down. Like, that's such an amazing thing. Like, even do one day, like, it's so good, because now you've set like a new reference for yourself. Like, you've done a day, so like, you know, you can do a day, you know that you didn't die, you know that you was okay. Now you can do 2 days, and like you said, you did 28. So like, honestly, like, well done. Like, well done. I'm gonna cut this live. I'll probably do another one. I'm not gonna do another one today, but yeah, just like, yeah, look at my stuff, like, see everything I've posted. If you see a picture, like, read the description. I write a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of gems, a lot of information. So if you're living in a place where you feel like, you know, it's not ideal, you feel like you can't do the best that you can, like, honestly, like, trust me, like, I share tips. Like, there's ways, honestly, there's ways of getting around it. Like, if you want to do a cleanse, you want to do juicing, but you feel like the produce is so expensive, get lemons. Like, lemons are cheap. You can get cheap lemons. Yeah, if you go to the supermarket, it's like 3 for £1 or whatever. But if you go to, like, you know, your local like greengrocers, or I've got like a little market by me, so today I got like 5 lemons for £1. And yeah, they're not organic, but you do what you can, and it's better than, you know, eating chips. So yeah, you gotta start somewhere. Humble beginnings. You know, I definitely started somewhere. I have my own reference point, and then I can keep adapting, I can keep changing, I can keep climbing the ladder. My climb of the ladder is like a natural climb of the ladder, because I enjoy everything I do. There's no pressure, I'm not in any health pains, conditions. Like, I'm just enjoying it, and that's a testament to like how great and amazing you can feel, knowing that, like, yeah, there's chip shops, yeah, there's meat. I used to eat meat before, like, many years ago. Like, there's nobody telling me that I can't, like, I'm not allowed to eat it. Like, I just decided that I don't want to. I know how good I feel by not eating these things. So I've been on both sides. So wherever you are, give yourself grace. Just know that you know, you're starting a whole thing. You're changing your whole reality. You're changing the course of your life. You're starting this whole thing for your family, like, especially if they're not aware of certain things. Like, yeah, like, it's a whole big thing, it's a whole deal. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna save this video so you can watch it back. Yeah, I kind of just was rambling on at the beginning about what's been happening, but yeah, I will catch you all on the next one, and thanks for joining.